Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Print Store. Today, I have the pleasure of taking you through our 2024 Subaru Ascent Limited in the magnetite gray. So this is the largest Subaru that they make. It's the largest Subaru they've ever made for passenger vehicles, and it's 7 or 8-seater configuration. This is a 7-seater, so you get captain's chairs. Magnetite gray looks phenomenal on all of the vehicles in our lineup, and the Ascent is no exception. Now, Limited is one step under the Premier, but when someone asks, I want for a full load Ascent, this is the first one I show them, because this has essentially what the majority of people consider fully loaded. So there are a few extras in the Premier. I have done a Premier video in the past. You can check those out, see the differences. But big, aggressive front end. These got a refresh for 23, 24 follows that. Big grille. You've got those chrome wings off the logos that tie into these smaller, more aggressively styled LED steering responsive headlights. Those headlights are awesome. We've got the new fog light surround, LED fog lights, and the new front fascia bumper combo. And aggressive looking in comparison to the previous pre-facelift Ascents. If you have them side by side, this definitely looks more aggressive. Limited, you end up with 20-inch gray wheels with machined alloy face. Great looking wheels. They come with Falcon ZX on them. And just like the majority of the Subarus, we've got cladding along the bottom in those high wear areas, the areas that are gonna get beat up by rocks, sticks, gravel, road debris. And yeah, 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance is the standard, more than a half-ton pickup. We've got roof rails on all of the Ascents, and they have the tie downs integrated into the front and rear. So if you get crossbars, you're putting something on the roof, easier to put your straps or ropes through these to tie down than in the middle of the big area where they can slide around. Now, fuel door is on the rear passenger side. And if your driver door is unlocked, the fuel door is unlocked. And there's a little pin that shoots out when the driver door is locked. It's just tied to the driver door. So I click lock on the key fob, the pin shoots out, it would lock in there. Click unlock on the key fob, which is the Subaru logo, the pin retracts. Easy to use. It's on the safe side of the highway if you ever run out of fuel and you're refueling. There's that rear 3/4 shot of it. It is quite large, especially when you put it side by side with a Forester or an Outback. The size is massive. Doesn't drive like a bus though, which is nice. Lots of people that are a little concerned that driving an Ascent is gonna be like driving a bus and that it's gonna be difficult to drive. These drive like a small vehicle, which is nice. Integrated into the rear bumper, we have those little circles. That's where the backup sensors are. They'll apply the brakes if it thinks you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. You've got a stainless steel bumper step pad, stop you from marking up the bumper if you're loading things in and out. That's an extra, that is an accessory. Power lift gate you can activate from the door, the driver's seat, or the key fob. And with the third row up, we still have a decent amount of room, which is nice. Obviously not as much as when these seats are folded flat, which I'll show you in a second, but a ton of room. Underneath, a little bit of storage. We have the privacy cover. We have access to our spare tire tools. There's lots going on under there. We've got the Harman Kardon audio system in the Limited, subwoofer in the back here, nice hard mount physical tie downs in the corners, 12-volt power point for any charging needs, and this halogen cargo light will shut off when I close the hatch, or I can just have it turned off, either way. Grocery bag hooks, and these seats, headrests, just pop up. And then just like the front ones, there's a little button you can press and then push down and they drop. Now, to fold the seats down, lift and push. Really, really easy to do. Lift and push. And we've just dramatically increased the amount of storage we have. Very tall, very wide, very deep. Tons of storage. Now, in the third row, we have cup and media holders, speakers out of the sides. We've got 2 USB ports on the rear here, along with media storage, more cup and media holders. Those squares up front, there and there, that's where the privacy cover tucks into. And it hides from that all the way down to here. So quite a bit of storage can be hidden in the Ascent. Lift it back up, it locks straight up and down, and then you can decide how far you want to recline it. So it is nice, it gives you that option. So if you have boxes back here and they're a little bit, you know, more square box-like, you can still fit them behind that. Or if you have taller people, you can recline them. So I'm a bigger guy, I can fit in the third row. Not that I want to spend a lot of time there, but I can do it. Second row has our captain's chairs. Being a 7-seater, you get the captain's chairs. Captain's chairs, from a teenager or adult perspective, much more comfortable than the bench. If your goal is to stuff as many passengers as possible in the Ascent, get the bench. So I have 2 ways to access the 3rd row. I can either go through the middle here, and that's what these handles on the beside the headrest are for. They're so you can walk through, you can leverage your way through, or on the side here, lift, and it slides. These are designed to be used as steps, both for getting in there or for loading something on the roof of the car. It's a lot easier standing there than on the tire because the tire sits inside the fender. But easy access to the 3rd row. There are 3 seats. You do have the latch system even in the back here for child seats. And these 2nd row seats are adjustable with a manual bar like a front passenger seat, and you can lock it. So I can increase the amount of legroom that my passengers in the 3rd row have, which is nice. Being the Limited, full load, you've got perforated leather upholstery, easy to clean. The armrests, also leather, they fold down and then they lock at multiple positions coming back up. They're heated. The outer 2 seats here are heated in the 2nd row, which is really nice. We've got 2 USB ports for charging, fold down cup holders. There's 19 cup and bottle holders in the Ascent. You shouldn't run out of room for beverages. Climate controls can be controlled from back here, or you can control them from up front. I'll show you that. And the vents for the climate control for both the 2nd and 3rd rows are actually out of the roof. So you feel the air conditioning, you feel the heat as a passenger much more quickly. In the doors, we've got built-in sunshades on both sides. Really nice, easily accessible cup holders. The armrest is soft touch, the door card is soft touch leather. Bottle holders, power window switch, and if you need it, child lock. Easy to use. Now you do have to do both sides individually, they're not tied together. Now, front, it is a proximity key, so this key never needs to come out of your purse, your pocket, your bag, your backpack, just needs to be within 46 inches. To lock it, I've got these lines, I simply touch. There's a small audible chirp. The hazards do flash and it locks. And we'll just confirm that. I know I pulled the front driver handle. Now, all I have to do to unlock it, put my hand in the handle, and you'll see the hazard go off there. Easy. Again, within 46 inches. Front door card looks very, very similar to that of the rear with the soft touch door card and armrest. All 4 power window controls. The front 2 are auto power windows, back 2 are regular power. We've got window lock, someone's playing with the windows, and we have our power mirror adjustment. We do have 2 position memory settings for your power driver's seat. And then we have a little bit more storage and bottle holders. Again, they don't waste a chance to tell you the audio system you're getting, the Harman Kardon. And it is, of course, a power driver seat, including lumbar. And it's the same seating material up front as it is in the 2nd row, that perforated leather. These headrests are adjustable, depending how close to the back of your head that you like your headrest. Now, something that isn't controlled from the memory is your manual thigh extender, and you've got different levels of it. Great if you have longer legs and you find that seats cut off the circulation to your legs on longer trips. Extending it is like sitting in a lazy boy. It's very, very cool. Now, there are still some buttons by the driver's left knee. We have the ability to open and close the rear hatch. It's a press and hold. I can stop it, and I can close it from that same button. I have the ability to turn on all of the interior lights. They're on right now because the door is open, but I can do that at any time. And then I've got a scroll wheel for the brightness of my gauges, my radio screen. Great for night if you've got sensitive eyes. Got a little storage cubby here. Black leather. It's nice trim. Careful what you put there, especially if it's dark colored. I once lost a set of sunglasses for about 10 days by putting them there on a test drive and missing them. Push button start. Keys in my pocket, foot's on the brake light goes green. Foot's not on the brake light is not green. Green means go. LEDs, I've got blind spot detection on either side mirror. So those little orange dots that you saw, it'll illuminate orange on the corresponding side when someone's in your blind spot or going to be in your blind spot momentarily. The little LEDs that popped up there, that is part of the driver EyeSight assist system. I have a video going over what the lights mean. I'll include that in the video description below. Steering wheel itself, I get a lot of comments that it's small. It's very much like a car steering wheel. It leads to quick turns, helps with the handling and maneuverability of the Ascent. It's nice to use. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, I've got my Bluetooth controls, my voice controls. I can access Siri or Google Assistant while using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. volume controls left and right, source switches from AM to FM to USB to Bluetooth, etc. And then this toggle, which used to be volume on the previous steering wheels, now changes our small little center display here, and it gives us different information depending what we want to look at. One of the screens that used to be included was a digital speedometer, but we constantly have it there now. So they've made some adjustments. Everyone liked the digital speedometer, didn't want to have to choose between, so they always have that. Right-hand side, I've got adaptive cruise and lane centering. Both of those systems use these 3 black boxes, those color stereo EyeSight cameras, to look for vehicles, cyclists, pedestrians, and road lines. And they do things like automatic emergency braking and lane centering as well. So I have adaptive cruise turned on. You can see an image of the Ascent there. There's 4 bars ahead of it all the way down to 1. You can increase the distance you follow at or decrease the distance you follow at. The bars are a ratio. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour has you following the vehicle ahead of you between 150 and 180 feet. If you catch up, you'll slow down, you'll match their speed. As they slow down, you will slow down, get a little closer. Easy to use. Great feature. Now, if you don't want to use adaptive cruise, you want to use traditional, turn it on, press and hold down. And you see you get the traditional cruise control icon. The distance markers are gone. Press and hold again, and it's back. Lane centering assist, turning that on, you get the little image of the steering wheel. Above 60 kilometers an hour, if the road lines are seen by the cameras, it'll illuminate those gray lines white on the corresponding side. After that, if it can see the road lines, it'll actually give you gentle steering input, help keep you centered in your lane. Great aid, didn't think I'd like it, but you're way less fatigued at the end of a day of driving if you're using that. Not hands-free in the slightest. Still have to have your hands on the wheel. It is easy to overpower if you needed to. Full circle heated steering wheel, except right here where the heating elements come out and you're never gonna grab. Gets cooking. We have paddles, upshift and downshift. We can manually select our own gears in the automatic CVT. It's great for going down hills. Got our wiper stalk, pull and hold towards yourself for fluid. 1 tap up just as a miss setting. Then we've got our intermittent collar speed. Probably easier to show you on this side. Intermittent collar speed. We have intermittent, slow, continuous, slow, or continuous, fast. Up top, this little screen right here, that's your DriverFocus. So that's an infrared camera. You can scan your face in. It'll tell you if you're distracted, if you're not paying attention to the road, or if you're drowsy. Subaru wins awards for it, and it is a fantastic feature. It doesn't, however, like polarized sunglasses, so do keep that in mind. It will sometimes shut itself off if you're using polarized glasses, depending on the level of polarization. We have the 11.6-inch touchscreen, and they've broken this essentially into 3 portions. The top portion here, right beside our hazards, which still has the sticker on it, we've got what we're listening to. We've got navigation destinations. If I set a destination in the nav and I go to radio, it'll tell me turn right 200 meters on Oak Street, or whatever the road is. Widgets, which I can change around. You just simply choose what you want. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I do all of the same ones. Weather is part of your satellite radio trial. And then we have access to dual function X mode, which is like 4 low in a pickup for that really rough off-road terrain. It only works under 40 kilometers an hour. Kicks out above that, goes back to regular all-wheel drive. And you have to be going under 20 kilometers an hour to engage it. But snow and dirt, you get snow and dirt, deep snow and mud. And that also turns off traction control to allow for excess wheel spin, so you chew yourself out of that situation you've got yourself into. Main portion of the screen, navigation. It's powered by TomTom. No subscription, you've got it for the life of the vehicle. Menu, I can search for things. Now, I don't have to search address, I can search pizza or Chinese food or whatever I'd like. So really, really easy to use. Radio, media, and phone are fairly self-explanatory. Under apps, we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, along with access to the My Subaru app. You get that after the vehicle's registered in your name. 3-year trial for that. Settings, I've got lots of settings I can play with. General settings, sound, navigation. I can go into the Wi-Fi settings, car, lots of things you can customize. So like driver door unlock. When I grab the driver door, only the driver door unlocks. Now, all the doors unlock when I grab the driver door. Same thing for the rear hatch. There's lots of things you can change and kind of customize to make it yours, which is really nice. When I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up. Rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. You can see the top of the bumper, so you have that to relate to. I know you guys didn't see it, but the passenger side mirror folded down as well. when I put it in reverse, and that's just so you can see those parking lines that you're in or trying to park within, which is nice. And it should tilt up. Yeah, saw it tilt up there. Car info, we've got driving statistics. You can set maintenance reminders. We've got the ability to turn on auto vehicle hold. We've got some vehicle settings we can control. Driving assistance you can change. You can turn off the driver monitoring system if you don't like it. Change it to miles per hour on the digital speedo, lots of things like that. You can hook up additional phones. 5 phones in total can be connected to the Ascent. And then we have our climate controls. So we have physical buttons on either side, and it is dual zone. Goes up and down in 0.5 degree increments. Or, oops, press the wrong one. I can simply click, I can drag, I can sync it back to driver controlled. I control where I want my airflow being directed, if I want AC on. Big fan strength buttons. And then the heated seats, 3 stages for both the driver and passenger. Now, rear, I can turn off, I can have on, I can turn it on, I can choose a separate temperature for the rear, the fan strength, where I want the airflow being directed, and I can lock them out. So if I don't want someone playing with the climate controls in the second row, I can simply lock them out, and they have no control, which is nice. As parents, I'm sure you'll all appreciate that. Sync them all together. And I can turn off climate controls altogether if I wanted to or needed to. Below that, storage cubby with a 12-volt power point. It is rubberized in here, designed to be device storage or stop things from sliding around. We have 2 USBs, A and C, along with an auxiliary. There is an automatic CVT. Pull it towards yourself, and that's where you use the paddles to manually select your own gears. Park brake, you pull up to turn on. Foot on the brake and push down to deactivate. Cup holders, which are illuminated. You can see that, kind of cool. Big armrest, it is soft touch. There's a change tray in there, deep storage. There's a place to run cords out of so you don't crush them when your armrest is down. Up top, we have an auto dimming rear view mirror with integrated home link system and compass. So there's no switch to flick, it just automatically dims if someone has their brights on behind you. It's fantastic. You can hook up 3 separate garage doors to your mirror very easily. And then the compass. We have our sunglass storage with our spy mirror, SOS and concierge / roadside. That's part of your 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. We've got our door light switch. So when I open a door, lights come on. You turn that off. Then we have our sunroof controls along with our power shade. It is one touch after it's going, and I can stop that at any point just by pulling forward on the button. Only the front panel tilts and slides. The back one is really just for light, but the shade is nice to have, and it slides. And like I said, I could stop it. So if someone in the back trying to take a nap, you can stop it right there. You still want light, you're set. We've got card holders on the visors, vanity mirror with light, and this entire thing slides. So if the sun's directly at your left or right, you can set that up. Now, I didn't show you guys under the hood, but really easy to access. Down here, bottom left, you have to go back a little bit further than you think you would, but it's easy to access. And this is the 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine. So you get 260 horsepower in this, 277 pounds-feet of torque, max towing capacity of 5,000 pounds. And there's your 2.4 liter. Top mount intercooler, very Subaru-esque. We've got brake fluid in yellow, washer fluid in yellow, coolant in yellow, oil filler in yellow. We've got our top mount oil filter, which is great, easy to access, and our dipsticks in yellow as well. We've got our air box, easy access, and then I always get asked what that is. That directs air through the intercooler. You get better combustion with a turbo. Keeps the EGTs lower. So I'll give you guys that 360 walk around of the Ascent Limited in the magnetite gray metallic. Largest Subaru they've ever made. 7 or 8 passenger configuration. This one, being captain's chairs, is a 7-seater. So thank you for sticking with me, watching my 2024 Subaru Ascent Limited walkthrough. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys are in British Columbia, willing to make the trip to British Columbia, pick up a Subaru, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you find your perfect Subaru. If you guys have any questions about this car behind me, any of the tech in it, or any of the vehicles or tech in our lineup, put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Any questions, love to answer those for you. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk soon.